Well, I mean, these guys just loved the smoothies that were available in the clubhouse, and we made sure they had a steady supply whenever they wanted, and they were so excited to know that they could have a smoothie whenever they wanted. I even bought Taishi a smoothie on the golf course, and he was so excited to get it with about four holes to play. So that was good fun. And of course, they were consuming these protein bars. They told us which were their preferences, and we were cleaning out the shopping aisles every night. Rex and me would go shopping, and we'd clean out the aisle, and they would consume it all. We'd have to go back the next evening to pick up some more. But hey, it was very well worth it. Honestly, I mean, playing 36 holes a day for 2 straight days, that's tiring. And but the weather was fantastic, so at least that was not contributing to it. But the guys were walking. Some of them carried their bags on the backs. They felt that was easier on this golf course because you could take shortcuts through waste areas of sand, which you couldn't do with a trolley. But just shows how fit and strong these guys are. Well, it hadn't crossed my mind, but the night before, when the ladies were at dinner, the ladies team, we said, hey, let's try to make it a double for the men and the women. And they said to us, well, if both teams win, will you guys jump in the water? And we said, for sure, we will. So when the match finished, we found out that the girls, I had no idea, but we found out that the girls had jumped in the water. And so we were not going to be left behind. And of course, the boys were super excited when they found out there was an opportunity to do that. I didn't realize there was that jetty out there where it was safe. I was a little worried because if you just jump off the fairway, you're going to land in the rocks. So I was asking the club guys, is it really safe to jump off? They said, yeah, don't worry, it's safe. So then we found the jetty, and of course these boys started taking off their shirts because luckily it was a warm day and the sun was out. I asked the boys, what are you waiting for? And they said they're waiting for you, coach. And so I just said, okay, let's let's go for it. I don't need any pushing. I'm ready to jump, and that was it. So it was a lot of fun. I think we'll all remember that for a long time. Yeah, I mean, I think hats off to APGC and other bodies by giving them opportunities to play so much more. I mean, we didn't have an AAC and a WAP, when this tournament started. We didn't have invites to tournaments like Sage Valley, the RNA Junior Open, and so many opportunities these kids are getting to play all over the world. And that's giving them a lot of confidence and making them feel that, they can go and play with anybody, anywhere. In the earlier days, probably a lot of the Asia Pacific players were just playing in Asia and they weren't quite sure how they would do against the Europeans. But now they're playing against the Europeans and the Americans all year round. And the other factor that I think has changed is so many more of them are speaking fluent English, which is enabling them to travel, enabling them to communicate and participate fully in everything that's happening with the team. And I think that helps as well. The key to winning is to have the right team, right? So actually, you set yourself up from the team selection, and the effort and the emphasis has to go into getting the right players. So the effort that was made, and the fact that we were successful in getting some of our very senior players back from America, even though it was a long haul for them, and they were maybe missing a couple of the first couple of class days. That was really a big key because those guys were kind of a bedrock and the core leadership team, among the 12 players. And right from the coaches and the federations that supported us, Chairman Timur also pushed a lot of the players, to get the players in. Bones, who got us Enrique and helped me with some of the other connections, all those things. And then the coordination so that, the players didn't feel inconvenienced or frustrated with the flights coming in. Agnes, sitting at the APGC, who coordinates everything and makes everything happen. So that whole support group at APGC that pushed everything through. It's a huge effort for 3 months. People probably don't realize when you just show up for the match and it just looks like, well, what's the big deal? And of course, the great thing at the venue was that everything was so well organized. The support we got from the Emirates Golf Federation, from the Al Hamra Golf Club, because there were some logistical challenges with the 10th tee being so far away. I mean, the sunrise was at 7:02 and the first tee time was at 7:03, and then we would play all the way till 6 o'clock in the evening. So there's a lot that went into making this tournament such a success. Well, I don't know if I'm going to get that opportunity because there's so many other deserving people I'm sure out there who could lead teams. But obviously, there's no doubt that given the opportunity, I would love to do it. With each passing match, there's so much learning, which I had from Spain, and I made notes, and I made some notes again after this year's match. What were some of the key points that I learned? And honestly, even my vice captain Rex, because he's so close to the game. He's been on tour, and even post being a player, he's around the tour a lot because he's a commentator for Japanese television. So he had a very sharp and keen sense of the players and their strengths and weaknesses and the chemistry between players. And that honestly was invaluable for me.